everyone, welcome back to Stephanie Plans and Reads. If you're new here, thank you for joining, and if you have been here before or from the very beginning, thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, if you like some of my things that I do, please be sure to subscribe. I'm hoping to get to 500 by the end of the quarter, so which will be the end of September. So yeah, if you could subscribe and like this video, I would really appreciate it. So today I wanted to talk about One Book July. So it is currently the first, I'm filming this on the 1st of August. This is all updated up to the end of July. And this is the first time I've done One Book July. So I wanted to kind of go through some of the things that I liked about One Book July, what worked, just kind of show you what I've been doing really. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but I do have some tea. So if you need a beverage or you want to get your planner and look through it while we talk, that would be, well, I talk, because, well, you might be talking too, but I won't hear you. But if you wanted to get something to drink, you might need it. I'm not sure, like I say, how long the video will be, but I know I'll probably need a drink. Okay, so this is my Sterling Ink Common Planner. It is the A5. It is this beautiful brown color. And I've got a clear cover on it, a Midori clear cover on it. And these stickers here are from different shops, but they are not actually attached to the planner. Well, they are, but I haven't taken the backing off and stuck them on. I've used washi tape so that I can move them and take them off at the end of the year and not lose anything. So, and that's worked really well for me. Okay, so the first thing that changed in my One Book July was the this area here. So this is the space where you're supposed to put your goals or your intentions for the quarter. This is quarter 3, and then you have this kind of, I don't know what these things are called, but they are good for habit trackers. So you can put your habits in there and then keep track of your habits. Now, in this planner originally is just my kind of plans. Anything to do with reading, my hobbies like reading and social media, they were kept in a different planner. So what I needed to do was bring all of those in. So all I needed to do here was put kind of goals for my social media, and I only just put YouTube. But that's all that needed to really change in here. So I had some goals here, and then on this side I kind of divide it in half, and on this side I put whether or not I met those goals or didn't. So I have an example here that I can show you. So I wanted to increase my flossing my teeth to at least 4 times in the month, which if you're watching this and you're horrified, I'm just really bad at flossing, so I'd never do it. And you'll see that here I did not do that. I 0 time flossed. So I put a little 0 there at the end, and then I did not meet that. I wanted to do my eye drops at least 20 times. I did them 11, so I did not meet that goal. However, I did do my skincare at least 20 times. I did it 26 times in the month. So I put a little check mark here and a little X there and X there, and then I'll just write a little sentence about why that was successful or not. I wanted to get to 3 miles at least twice in the month in terms of my walking. I walk twice a week, and I did that, so that's all good. contact or see two friends. I think I probably contacted at least one friend. I'm really bad at staying in touch. So that's got to be something that I work on. Date night, at least once. I did go to date night, and my YouTube is currently, I think, at 330. I would love to get it to 350. Well, my goal was to get it to 350 by July, but I'm hoping to get it to 5 by the end of September. So if you can help with that, that would be great. Right. So then what I do is I do these every day, and then at the end of the month, I calculate what was the percentage of the times, opportunities that I had to fulfill these versus the ones that I did them. And so I had 248 opportunities to get these things done, and I did it 133 times, which is 54%. That's not great, but I didn't do it here, but it's kind of on par with what I had been doing previously. So around the low 50s. And I think that's partly because I put in floss and I rarely floss. If I had taken out floss, that's taking out 31. So adding 31 to that would really increase this percentage. But I really, in my new, going forward, August, which we're not really talking about, but I really want to, I put here floss for goodness sake, because I just need to get into a habit of doing it. Obviously weekly would be good, but daily would be best, but we're not there yet. So this didn't change that much, except adding social media stats. I won't be putting the social media stats in here probably. I'm not sure. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm having trouble deciding or determining where to put social media, and that trouble continues. Okay, so let's look at the month. So that's August, so we're not there. This is the month. So normally my months look like this. So pretty plain. The only thing that you'll see on the months for me usually is appointments or sports events or other events that are happening in the month. So when I brought in my reading and my social media, I had to kind of use this a little bit more thoroughly. So now what I've done is I have included books that I've read. So when I start and when I finish them, and I'll explain in a second, I've got a list of the books that I read, the genre and the rating, and then how many I read. And then I have my social media with little icon stickers. I'm just going to bring it up for you in case you can't see. So you can see the little icon stickers. And then what I did, what was the topic of the post and everything. So here, I used the blue pen to indicate books that I've finished reading. And then if it's in black, I've started reading it. And that's kind of what I have done in my reading journal, is that kind of method in the monthly. So yeah, it's kind of packed in. I like the list. It was quite a good spot here in July to put a whole list like this. If I was going to continue it into August, you can see August has a lot less room. So I'd have to figure out a way of doing that. But like I say, I'm not going to be taking my reading and using it in here anymore. It'll go back into my reading journal. But my social media, I do like having the social media, schedule with my to-do list so that I can look, okay, well, I need this, Instagram post or whatever, so I need to do this in my to-do list. I do like that aspect of it, but I don't know. I don't know what I don't like the calendar being this busy, and it doesn't look pretty. So maybe if I did some sort of highlighter, to highlight the posts, or if I didn't use, like if I didn't write the content of the post and just wrote the content of the post somewhere else. I'm not sure. But that's what the monthly looked like. I do like the fact that it looks used. So this is where my kind of crazy brain is. I do like that the use, like that it looks used. I just don't like that it looks messy. And not because I'm worried about things looking messy on a kind of, you know, aesthetic kind of thing, because I'm not. Because if you see my reading journal, you'll know that. I don't know, maybe there's too much going on here. Anyway, it's an ongoing problem, my social media, and I will say this again for people who are just watching this video and haven't seen my video before. If you are a content creator and you put things on social media with any kind of like schedule or anything, please comment down below how you do it and where you house that information. I would love some ideas. I have tried, you know, using different things, and so far I've yet to find anything that I really love. So, to be continued. Okay, so let's go to the weeklies. So this is the first week here of the weeklies. This is a Let's Plan It kit. So what had to change here was originally I had to-dos at the bottom. So I'll show you. So this is an example. So the to-dos are at the bottom here. But because I needed a section where I wrote down what I had read that day and the pages, I put that at the bottom. And that's what I used to do with my Hobonichi cousin last year, is this method. So that was kind of comfortable for me. And then this part was still kind of stayed the same. So it's basically a snapshot of my day. What did I do with that day? Some of these things are pre-set up, so I know laundry is always going to be Sunday, but when I do my plan with me's, if you've watched any of those, you'll see that it never looks this full, because I tend to do things as I go. Just the things that, you know, need to be there, like rent and car insurance and those types of things, they have to go on a certain day. But anything else that doesn't have to, I usually add to as I go. So I think this worked well. It's a lovely kit. This color blue is not my fave. But yeah, it's a beautiful kit and I think it looked good. This was my first week. So I think for my first week, it kind of it went well. You know, I get better at doing it as the month goes on. So this is the second week. This is a planner cake kit, beautiful kit. I think it's vintage sage. I did something new. I cut the washi so it kind of had this like scalloped effect. And you know what? I just realized I put the I didn't realize this before. I had put the washi for the not the washi, the day headers below the actual dates. Okay, that's funny. That's funny, Stephanie. It's funny that I didn't notice until just now. How many times a day am I into this planner? Anyway, so this is good. Again, there's still the reading at the bottom. It looks a little bit more like I knew what I was doing, or that I was kind of putting more information down in this section. Over here is usually like I'm writing a little bit about the week as a whole in terms of like, do I like this, the way this looks? So I'll write that, and then also might write something about the week as a whole in terms of like what I did and stuff. So that's that week. Then I call this kind of my breakthrough week. So this is not a kit. This is bits and pieces from Planner Kate. I think this is the 9th anniversary sheet, like the giveaway sheet, the freebie sheet that she did for her 9th anniversary last year. And again, I have the reading at the bottom. I always have my meal plan, or my meal, what I did for meals here. And then I kind of just did some deco. I use these round things for the month, for the days of the week. And then if you'll see down here, I decided, originally I was using a clear Post-it note, and I was making checks along the side. So let's see. So you can see here that there's checks here along the side, check marks. But it wasn't working for me after a while. So then I just thought for myself, why don't I use these dot markers and just use this icon? So for example, this is a TikTok, and then put the dots beside it, and then check off the dot once I did it. So for example, so filming, editing, uploading, right? For YouTube. And then I don't know why I hadn't thought about this before, and it just kind of clicked to me. Well, yes, I can use this bottom, so just above my reading, to kind of carve out a little social media section, and then just use my dot markers. And that really made a difference. So now I can see, I think I had a lot of problem with not being able to see on my weekly what needed to be done. And I like writing the to-do list in the back, which I will show you as we get to it. I love that. But when I'm in the weekly, I need to know, maybe not the steps of everything that needs to be done, but I need to know that something's coming up that needs to be done. For some reason, I was really having a disconnect. This, putting, these little boxes beside a little sticker here, has made a world of difference. So I really was happy with the way this turned out, even though it probably looks quite chaotic. I mean, I was having some deliveries. I was using, a whole bunch of different fonts, and I don't care that they're mixed up. I like that. But it was just, it's very busy, I think, except for right here for some reason. But this was enough to make me think, I love this spread, because this social media kind of fix for me really changed. And that was in week 29. So I think I've got it sorted. So then the next week is another Let's Plan It kit. This is the fourth week in July. Again, my reading down here. This works for me. I like putting it down here. I like seeing what I read. Up here, again, we've got social media, and I've just put what they are on top in case I've forgotten. Then this section here becomes a kind of running tally of my day. And then because I had this sticker here, I just put the YouTube one up here, and for some reason did not check off the last thing, which I definitely did because it's up. Interesting about this kit is I used a week's kit, Hobonichi Weeks. And again, I did my own kind of DIY, do it yourself, DIY washi here. And yeah, everything is quite, like the stickers are quite a bit smaller, but I liked it. And yeah, I just thought it was really cute. And this is beautiful. So I got the cousin one of this kit as well, but I just wanted to use this one. And then the final week, which is the week we're on now, is Planner Kate. Again, I've got the reading down here in this section, and because I had a washi, and it's so cute. This is these little they're little bees. They're so cute. I wanted to put that in, and then I just put a line here with my Tombow, and then I didn't bracket this off for my social media, but you can see I just put it all on the same line. And because we are filming this, I can do that with my YouTube. So yeah, this is from here on is August, but this part is still July. So yeah, I think one thing I did learn from One Book July is this social media, practice. And I really like this. Now, if I can find something to do with the months in terms of scheduling that works. I mean, I do like the little icons, but maybe putting what the subject matter and everything is a little bit too much for the month. And maybe I just put the subject matter here. So I'm not sure. Still to be determined. And like I said, if you have great suggestions, please leave them down below. Right. So One Book July. This is where we start, One Book July. The dailies have been a lot of fun. I'm just gonna talk as I show them to you. But basically, I decorated them, sometimes going like a couple of days ahead. Sometimes if I didn't have a chance, I didn't. Sometimes they're not as decorated as others. Usually I use Tombow, but what's new is putting the to-do list here. So Monday my to-do list is always huge, and then I, kind of do it during the week. But I loved having the to-do list on my daily page. Just, it is better for me. And then I have a gratitude and a reflection of the day. So some days things are busy and I don't have time, so usually I would find a way to go back, but I thought, why am I doing that? Why do I need to go back? I don't, so I didn't. Yeah, there's lots more space that, so if I look to the, before I was putting 2 days per page, and there wasn't any space for like notes or something, for example. So if I had something, I need to jot that down, I didn't have any room. But because I'm using one whole page per day, there were places that I could put notes if I needed to. Like here, I don't have any notes. So there's an empty space. But sometimes I did put notes, like I got Happy Mail from Let's Planet. Sometimes my highlights were a little bit, bigger. This, I didn't have a lot to say, and I knew I wasn't going to, so I put the weekend days there. Yeah, I just saved a lot of, here I had some notes. So there are empty spaces, but I'm okay with that because I don't need to cram everything in. So this is this week here. And I usually use kind of leftover pieces from the kit if I have a kit that I'm using. And that's the last day in July. So what am I going to do going forward? Let me take a sip of my tea and I'll tell you. So going forward, the weeklies are going to go back to, let me find one that's, not that one, are gonna go back to this kind of thing where I have a section down at the bottom and then this. This is gonna stay the way it always is. I'm not gonna put my to-dos, I'm not gonna go back putting my to-dos back down here. Because I do like the to-dos and I do like the 1 page per day thing here. So I'll probably stick with that strategy. If you can hear some banging and things going on, it's my cat is playing on the floor beside me. So yeah, so that I don't need to keep my reading in here because I do have a reading journal, and so this doesn't need to be here, but my social media is going to come down here. So instead of having my to-do lists like this, for example, I will have a section for either just above the washi, if there's a big washi like this, or if there's not a washi, just at the bottom that has this kind of line here, which will kind of indicate all my social media stuff. And that way too, I can write down what it is, and then maybe keep this monthly a little bit more clean with just the icons to indicate when I did post something. So yeah, so my days are going to stay the same. They're going to have the to-dos. There's going to be a space for notes or just jotting things down. Then my gratitude and my reflection, that's going to stay the same. The weekly, I've learned that I really do like this thing about the social media, so that's going to take place of the reading, basically. And the reading will go back into my reading journal. I have a reading journal. I've had it the whole year. I did continue it during One Book July, so the stuff that I had written in here was kind of also written in here, which I'll show you next. But it's staying, so I'm going to keep using it. So any of the reading stuff doesn't really need to be in here. The only other thing would be keeping track of stats in terms of, followers and subscribers. So I was putting all that in here for what I'll explain in a bit. And I think I'm just going to keep it in there. Here, if I tried to put it in here, I could put it down here, which maybe I will do that, because that might work. But what I have learned from One Book July is that I definitely can use one book. I like using one book. I do use this one because I like using it, but I can get all of this information in here as well. So, yeah, it's been successful for me in that, and it did lead me to the social media kind of epiphany that I had. This is the way it's looking in terms of its chunk. It's definitely getting chunky. I am noticing that I'm finding it a bit difficult to write, like as we get closer to the spine here. But other than that, I have absolutely no notes for how good this is, and I keep it in this, but I took it out for the purposes of this video. Now, the month in my reading journal. So at the beginning, what do? Is I just list the books that I've read, and have some stats that I want to reach. I want to get read 28 books in this quarter. I read 10 this month, so I'm well on my way. And then I put my stats at the bottom, which the reason why I'm tracking the stats is that I'm not really that worried about, becoming an influencer or going, to the stratosphere with some of the big accounts. I just would like to kind of progress. And I think that even just growing a little bit every month is fine for me. I'm quite happy to be one of the smaller kind of creators, and I would be doing this kind of stuff anyway. So, yeah, I'm just hoping that I can continue to grow. So that's all I'm worried about that way. So here you can see my monthly is, the black is the books that I finished. Is that right? No, black's the books that I start, and blue is when I finish them. And then I just do the total in red. I've done that for a couple of months now. And that seems to work out fine. I didn't know what to do with this really, because it's too small for me to do like a kind of, let's see if I started that way. No, I didn't. It's too small for me to write like everything that I read in the pages. that goes in the week. So this is a different way of using it that's related to reading. Okay, so then the weeks. So we'll start with this week. On this side is the book that I've read in blue, the pages, and then any notes I take on this side, like if I finish the book or if I have a thought about what I read, they're in black. And then everything usually on this side is in black. I decorate them ahead of time and then I just write around them. Sometimes there's, spaces. Again, I don't care that there's spaces. And I use the Uni multi-pen, Uniball multi-pen, and it makes it very, crinkly and yeah, kind of messy, and I like that. So here's the next week. Lots of this is pet tape and then some washi tape. And I just basically use what I have. There's like pieces left over from different things. Lots of space here. Some weeks I get to read more than others, so this doesn't look like a particularly lots of reading being done this week. But then this week there's lots more. I needed to read, I think, 4 books in this week to get to my total goal for the month, and I did. So lots of reading there. And then this is this week. So, and I always write in red the last day for the totals so that I know when to check my totals, because I don't check them every day. Then here, if you have been with me, at the back of this is originally it was my social media kind of to-do list. I did not like this being into my reading book and out of the way of my everyday book. This did not work at all. I found myself just coming in at the end of the week and saying, oh yeah, I did that. But I needed something that I could look at. So I'm not really using this for anything at the moment. There's some kind of notes about things and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not really using the back pages. So, there's no reason for me to be having anything bigger for next year, because people we're already starting to think about that. So there's the chunk on that. So yeah, it's good. It's good. And I just like that it's messy. Like, for some reason, this really appeals to me. It really feels lived in. It's like really crinkly. Can you hear? Yeah, just really, really like that. So these, I was definitely in One Book July, and I still stand by that because everything was in here. But really, I do use 2 books. This is a planner. This is a journal. But they are both from Sterling Ink. And I think I can't see why I would not do the same system again next year. This is what I'm thinking at, the end of July, the beginning of August. There just doesn't seem to be a reason why I wouldn't choose this again. I did try the B6 for a couple of weeks, and there was nothing wrong with the B6, but I just think my heart. So I did have the B6 here. But yeah, I just can't see why I would change this. I like the A5 size. I use it quite well. I think I'm using all of the bits in here that need to be used. This, I don't need this many. This is the compact, but I really don't need this much notes. But if I start writing reviews of the books, which had at one time been my thought than having the back, and then I could, you know, do like all the aesthetic reading journals do. They cut out the picture, and then they write their of the cover, and they write the little review, and it looks gorgeous. And I don't do that, but maybe, you know, next year I will. So the compact week size, which is the N1, I think, N2, and then the A5 size, I think, will be the way I go next year as well. But as always with planner channels and with my channel, it's always open to changing. There's so many great planners out there, and I'm always tempted by them, but yeah, I think this is what I'll do for next year as well. So I think all in all, One Book July was a success, and yeah, I look forward to hearing about how your One Book July was, if you in fact did it. Let me know in the comments if you are starting to think about 2025, and let me know if you are thinking it's time for a change, or you're gonna stick with what you know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.